everyone, my name is Madison and I'm going to be using this cookbook, Cookish by Milk Street, and I'm going to be making a complete Sunday dinner. For my main course, I made this gram masala and tamarind roasted chicken. I had all the ingredients in my house, but I never saw that combination together, so I thought it would be a wonderful recipe. For the rub, I simply used a mixture of butter, cinnamon, gram masala, and some tamarind chutney. I had no real use for the tamarind chutney unless when I was eating some samosas, so I was like that I got to add it to this recipe. Then I simply added some foil to my pan and I made it like a little ring so then it collects a little bit of the juice. And then I spread the rub all over my chicken. I put it under the skin, but I was filming with one hand and I didn't want to get my camera dirty. But that's really what it looked like after I spread all the red on. And then I put some limes in the middle. It's not in the recipe, but that's what I always do. I learned it from my mom. Now that that's in the oven for an hour and a half, I'm going to do some much needed laundry and vacuuming. So I'll see you in about an hour and a half. I actually lied, but I will get around to it later. So the reason why I love this book, Milk Street's Cookish, is it's like really for someone who has like a lot of spices like myself, but yet wants to make like really easy recipes. So like, for example, like with this gram masala, I've had this for so long, but I barely use it because I don't really have any recipes to make for it. So I love it because it uses all these like ingredients that I don't really get to use, and it creates like these really simple, easy meals that are perfect for weekdays or weekends just because they're like so extravagant and they're so flavorful. Instead of relying on maybe like salt, pepper, and garlic, they like to go above and beyond, which has made this like my favorite cookbook. So later I'm also going to be making this butternut squash recipe in addition to asparagus recipe. After about an hour, and I would say 40 minutes, I took it out of the oven and it was the perfect temperature. I loved how like brown the skin looked, and then I just let it sit for about like 30 minutes or something. Then I got started on the butternut squash recipe with hoisin sauce and chives. I just put some butternut squash in a pan at 475 for about 20 minutes, and then I just put it on broiler for another 10 with some salt and pepper and some oil. And then I moved on to this asparagus recipe that used green onions, and I love how I could use both of these green onions in my two different recipes. Then I chopped up some pickled ginger and just sauteed it in a pan before I eventually added my asparagus. This recipe I thought was really easy and really quick, and it had a ton of flavor. After I removed my butternut squash, I tossed in a hoisin sauce, and then I carved my chicken. So that's my final product. I hope you enjoy Cookish as much as I do, and like I said, this food is absolutely delicious. Goodbye!